You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 54th edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It's the third episode of Season 6, and we are the show who compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quests with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everybody. Hi, I am Andrew. Welcome to the show. Tonight, I am joined by my good buddy partner here, Ray. Hi, Ray. What's going on?
Hey, Andrew. Everything's great. Good to see you.
Glad to have you back on the show. You had to be out of town last week for the show, so always glad to have you back when we have to part our dear ways, Ray.
Always good to be back.
Nice to hear your voice again. So what are we doing tonight? We got some quests we're getting into. Ray and I will jabber on and on endlessly, probably, about a few quests here. And we got a few other little side business things to get into. I'm not sure if Carrie's going to hop on tonight. I sent her a link, but we will be getting into some details about a special, what is she calling it? Flash mob, a special Twitter flash mob, where we're getting together, like we mentioned it last week, getting some sciencey stuff together, collect all your science stuff, make a special stop toward, off at the Institute, get some clean microscopes and flasks and all that. Bring it back to settlement, set up a really awesome sciencey looking thing, get a chem station going, get some lights, the neon signs say settlers save Carrie. And we're doing this for @Carrie's Fund. We're going to do a Twitter flash mob. But I've got some details written down here. Get your pens ready. We've got some details we'll need to go over here in a little bit on the show. But why don't we go ahead and get into some quests, Ray, I guess. Why don't you remind us just a little bit about your character? And you got any side stories? Any fun side stuff you've been doing besides the quest we're going to get into?
Not too much. I mean, I've done a little bit. But because of traveling, I've been a little short on time to play, and so I also got No Man's Sky. It was on a Steam sale the other day and couldn't resist, so I've been playing a little bit of that.
Off in space, exploring the new frontier.
Yep.
Attaboy.
But she is a member of a group of people that were Chinese Americans that were interned during the war. She's 9th generation and is making her way out exploring the world, and so she is particularly sensitive to any type of slavery or servitude or people being put in jail. So this was particularly a important week for her because she's a member of the railroad, and
I was going to ask, she's probably not a big fan of the Institute there, huh?
No, not a fan of the Institute. Although she's heard of the Institute, but she hasn't actually interacted with them at all. I'm not doing the main storyline with her at all. But she's very intent on taking care of these traders that have gotten themselves in a little hot water.
Nice. My character is named Belle. Going around trying to find different settlements, people in need, setting up a bell of hope in each location. My building, actually, of not really been doing much of yet. I really want to get into a nice big build at some point and put a bunch of bells all over this lighthouse that I got to. I need to start building more. Since I started out, of course, in the worst settlement ever, over at the Diamond City.
I love that place.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone loves it so much. I hate it. But I got to the lighthouse, and it's basically a dog farm right now. I went to Erickson over at Far Harbor, 2 different cycles, so I got 6 dogs from him, and I got the 2 dogs from the Creation Club thing. There's like a Rottweiler and a Golden Retriever or something.
Nice.
Or maybe it was a boxer. I don't remember. But I sent 2 of those dogs over there. So I got a ton of dogs, and I have 3 dog traps set up that I cycle through every time I come back. So I don't know. I was just kind of seeing how many dogs it would let me have. But I mentioned it last week on the show. Right? I had a happiness of 84% on the settlement, even though no humans were living there at the settlement. Like, that's
everybody knows dogs are happier than people.
They're just like walking around. It's dog world over here, guys. Doop-de-doo. They're having a good time.
So have you been catching 3 dogs a night?
It's weird. They don't seem to all activate at once. Like 2 will go, or 1 sometimes. They don't all seem to have the same time cycle. It's a little weird. And then sometimes. Actually, a lot of the time, one of them is a mongrel. So you have to like be ready to kill it once you pop open the trap, or all the other dogs will attack it, and you don't want one of your own dogs to get caught. I have been finding the Adam's Judgment sledgehammer that I've been using has a little bit of an area of an effect. I've been accidentally killing my follower a little bit from time to time. Like,
yeah, you'd have to be careful.
It's a sledgehammer. It shouldn't be exploding everywhere, but I guess it does have.
It's spewing radiation.
Yeah, that green smoke that flows out of it all the time. It's great. So yeah, that's just a little bit about my character trying to spread hope throughout the wasteland, building bells as a signal of hope. So right, tonight on the show, we're going to get into a couple of side quests and a cool location, and then a big side quest. Pardon. The location is called Rocket Shed. We'll go ahead and start off over there. Have you have been to this Rocket Shed place a few times?
Oh yeah, it's a fun place to go, and it's kind of on the way. I tend to use the Sunshine Tidings Co-op quite a bit, and so I'm often walking between there and Fort Hagen, and so you come across that Rocket Shed.
Yeah, it's over. I would say sort of slightly northeast of Fort Hagen.
Yeah.
There's a relay tower, I think, sort of in the area too. One of those towers you can send the remote tower up.
Pick up the radio signals.
Yeah. You do those? What happens with you follow those signals?
I've gotten started doing it a few times and just have never really finished it. Probably the most interesting one is the one that locates the secret bunker underneath the Fallon department store. So you take out all the super mutants, and if you've activated the radio beacon nearby, you get the signal from the woman that was in the bunker. It's a sad story. You end up finding her dead, of course, but
rarely happy stories there.
No, but it's an interesting one to follow.
Sweet. So tell me a little bit about this Rocket Shed.
So there's really not a lot of explanation for what it is, in as far as how it relates to the game, but somebody has set up this little shed on the side of this hill, and they've built these trays to hold the gas canisters that you see laying all over that blow up at inopportune times. and they have them laying in these cradles. And you walk in, there's a bed there, so somebody's been staying there. And if you shoot the end of the gas canister where the nozzle is, it will launch out into the canyon below, or in my case, back inside the cabin. Fortunately, I was shooting it from outside because I know they can be erratic. And so I didn't actually take any damage on this one, but if I had been standing inside, yeah, I definitely would have.
Oh no. That's really funny. Hey, remember
You could also you can also we're getting massive robot here.
Ray, you broke up on me there. Are you still there? All right, I'm going to hop off and hop back on real quick.
Crazy. Can people in the YouTube chat hear me okay?
I'm getting a lot of like crazy, weird digital feedback. You're sounding really super choppy. Can you hear me? Ray? Ray, can you hear me? No?
Yeah, we're roboting really bad.
All right. I'm going to hop off and hop back on again.
Let me try hopping off and back on. Just barely. Oh, now you're good.
Robot. Yeah, you're still roboting like crazy.
Pretty intense.
Well, sorry everyone out there who's watching on YouTube. There's lots of viewers, people hanging out on the chat. We appreciate that. I know this sounds super horrible and robot-y on the YouTube end. I apologize for that. I'm going to hop back on and hop back off again, see how many times we can do this in a row, Ray? You still roboting? Ray, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, maybe I'm back.
Hey, there we go. Sound good on my end.
Damn it, Comcast.
Yeah, do you have Comcast too?
Yep.
I hate it. They locked me into a 2-year contract, and I the only reason I signed up for it because it had some channels that I liked, and then I found out I don't have those channels anymore, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? So I contacted them, and they're like, oh, we cycle through our packages. We change those on a regular basis just to give our viewers the most the most varied packages so they can get their best blah 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 blah. And I'm like, bitch, I signed up for this package because it had those channels that I like. Now I don't have them anymore. I want to fucking cancel. She's like, oh, there's a $250 canceling fee. Like, you motherfuckers, change the package. That's total bait and switch. How can they do that?
Yeah, it's brutal.
Fucked up. Anyway, we're back, guys. I reset my router. I don't know. Ray maybe did some stuff. Hopefully that'll solve the problem. You don't sound robot-y to me at all right now. And looks like we lost a couple of viewers. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks for everyone who's hanging out in the YouTube chat, though. Stuck with us through that garbage. Yep. That's awesome. Anyway, Ray, we're talking about this...
the rocket shed.
Rocket shed before we got all crazy and robot-like.
So you can also launch the rockets by hitting them with a melee weapon.
Yes, you can.
Well, especially if it's Adam's Judgment.
Oh, God. It was a mess. Can you imagine what happened? The swing is not so precise, and the area of effect just makes the whole fucking thing just blow up right in your fucking face.
I can imagine.
It's very hard to clip that little valve at the end you're supposed to hit. You know,
right.
They gave you lots of ammunition and everything. There's boxes of ammunition around. It's a nice, beautiful scene. You know, this little weird cabin. It's like a deer hunt shade, whatever they're called, basically. It's like just a little box with a rectangular window cut out the front of it, perched up on top of the cliff, overlooking a very pretty valley. Beautiful scene. And of course, right before I went there, I had gone and dumped all my stuff at the lighthouse that I just got. You know, done an inventory dump. That's what I do when before I go to adventuring. You know, coming back home, and I'm a collector of crap, so I dump all my crap and then go back out adventuring again. Well, I'm on a melee playthrough. I've been taking 0 ballistic weapons with me. I show up there, the only weapon I have with me is Adam's Judgment with its little area of effect attack on the super sledge. So I just end up blowing myself up numerous times trying to get it. I'm aiming it right at the little tip, trying to get that little. No, could never hit that little valve. Always just blew my face up. It was so brutal. But they do give you nice amounts of ammo there. They just don't give you a gun. I never found a gun. Is there a gun laying around there, Ray, that I missed?
Not that I can remember seeing.
Yeah, I don't know. So bring a weapon, bring a ballistic weapon with you, because the melee weapons, I guess, if you have one, like, I don't know, what's a good one you can hit a valve with, like a switchblade or something? I don't know, something you can be more accurate with. But the
the Chinese sword works just fine.
Yeah, all right, do something like that. Don't do something with, like, Adam's Judgment. It doesn't work. I also found out, Ray, recently, you swing at those cars, they usually give you a 3-second countdown to get away from the car a little bit before it blows up. Adam's Judgment, they blow up immediately in your face. They don't give you that little countdown. You hit them and then boom, the car just explodes. Oh, jeez, it's a rough life. Gotta be careful with these weapons of handheld weapons of mass destruction, I guess. Do we need to mention anything else about the rocket shed? It's just makeshift ramps, some propane tanks, basically clip off the things, and you can watch them shoot out over to the valley, which is pretty cool. Can you damage anything with them? Are there any raiders down in the valley you could shoot with the tanks or anything?
Yeah, they're down there, but I've never been able to hit anything with it. They blow up before they reach the ground.
Yeah. Guy generally. Anyway, that's always a fun little location. I remember the first time I found it, I was like, what the fuck is this place? It's really weird. Just like one of those little things they throw into the game. It's fun. Yeah. Is it a reference to something? Does that exist in a movie or story or book or something?
Not that I'm aware of.
Weird. All right, check out the rocket shed, everybody. Over there on the far west side of the map. I don't know, sort of near the Nuka World entry, Fort Hagen, that area over there. Let's get into Traffic Jam and Prep School together. The original intention of this season was we're going to have lots of our community members submit their favorite quests. Then we're going to have some of those people on the show so that they can talk about those quests with us. Well, Steve submitted some of his favorite things, a couple of quests that he thought were cool. And it's basically just because of the benefit that happens after you complete these two quests. He submitted Traffic Jam and Prep School. Not that the quests are super remarkable in any way, but it really is the benefit that it gives you after you do these two things. So Steve's going to send a little bit of audio feedback talking about these quests. So we'll go ahead and listen to see what Steve has to say, and then we'll check in here shortly after. Thanks, Steve.
Kia ora, everybody. I've been asked to provide a little bit of feedback for Traffic Jam and Prep School. This is Steve, coming to you from Oamaru, New Zealand. And so what you do is you start out at Bunker Hill and talk to Deb. And what she's going to do is she's going to send you to the National Guard training yard. And you got to take out some feral ghouls there. All right, so then the quest shows up in your log under miscellaneous, so it's not like a full quest. It's just like a little miscellaneous quest. And so then head up the road. What you do is you go out the east door to Bunker Hill, and then between the building and this truck, and then past the drug den, and over the bridge, and past County Crossing, and then the National Guard training yard is up there on your left. And do yourself a favor, just go around and take out all the turrets, because those turrets are going to come up later and try and shoot at you if you're not careful. And then go inside. Watch out for landmines as well before you go inside. And then go in and clear out the ghouls. Make sure you go in the back and you check out the Brotherhood of Steel Knight, which is part of another quest there. And go upstairs and get a password from a desk that's up in there. And go back down, then you can use the terminal to get into the yard. Keep going through, be a little bit careful about the ghouls in there. And there is a U.S. Covert Operations Manual in there, magazine that you can grab. And then once you come out, there's those bunkers in the back. If you need a suit of power armor, there's one in there. But watch out for the sentry robot that'll come out at you if you go in that area. So there's some stuff in this area that'll surprise you. So then you go back to Deb at Bunker Hill and turn in the quest, and this completes the first part, traffic jam. So Deb's going to send you to go talk to Kessler, who kind of runs Bunker Hill, and she'll tell you about that. There's some raiders that have been hijacking some caravans, and so then go out to this prep school and you clear out the raiders and save the caravans. So there's a magazine in there, Astoundingly Awesome Tales issue 121. And I forget what that does for you, but anyways, it does something, a little perk. And head back to Bunker Hill and turn in the quest to Kessler. Make sure you read the terminals in there. The terminals are kind of interesting. They tell well, it's Fallout. They tell this terrible story of these raiders that do these horrible things. So now after you turn in that quest to Kessler, now she'll say something about, all right, yeah, sweet. Now the caravans can like go all these other places that they couldn't go before because the raiders aren't hijacking them. So what that means is when you go into your workshop mode to build stuff in your settlements, under resources, miscellaneous, resources where you have resources, water, where you can build the water pumps. Under miscellaneous, now you'll have a thing called a trade caravan post. And it's a makeshift shelter with a Brahmin feed trough that the traveling merchants stop at when they visit. It'll bring merchants that wouldn't normally visit that settlement to that settlement. So they all have their own regular paths that they follow, like Cricket goes, I forget. Anyways, they don't go to every single settlement, but when you build this thing, they will. So Lucas and Cricket and Carla and Doc Weathers, they all have their certain paths before, but now they'll come to your settlement if you build this thing. So it's pretty cool. It's a great little hidden quest that they don't really tell you how to get that thing otherwise, but it's a nice little resource for your settlement. And so now you know how to get it and what you need to do. So go out there and get it, everybody. All right, take care, and I'll see you in the wasteland.
Awesome, thank you, Steve. Yeah, so what we're talking about here is basically the trade caravan stop. It's just so that you can get Lucas Miller and who else was it, Ray? I don't know. It was Cricket one of them. Oh, just a few other people.
Yeah, pretty much all the caravan people will come through your settlement at some point in time.
Doc Weathers, or Doc someone or other, not Weathers. Doc Weathers was from New Vegas. What's the doctor's name, Ray? Weathers was New Vegas, wasn't it? Wasn't he the guy?
Yeah, it's
Trader's fucking probably screaming at his computer right now. So did you get that completed, Ray? You got the trading post, the caravan trading post, and everything all set up and stopped to buy. Anyone you recognize yet?
No, because I haven't been back to the
to the home yet.
No.
Yeah. I just got it set up on the roof of Red Rocket, so I'm hoping that they actually literally go to the spot instead of just stop by the settlement somewhere, but they actually go to the It's funny to see everyone lug their ass all the way up the top of the Red Rocket. But I've got my science research facility set up over there at the Red Rocket as well. So we'll get into that here in a minute. Traffic jam and prep school. Ray, did you have anything you wanted to get into with those two little side quests?
No, there. You know, it's a handy thing to have. It's good to if you set up a resource farming settlement, it's handy to have a good steady flow of merchants right there in your settlement, so you don't have to drag everything off to Good Neighbor or Diamond City to sell it.
And maybe it's not actually, but for some reason I think it might be helpful if you're doing a non-local leader 2 playthrough. Help get your resources to different places, because you can build as many as you want, so they'll stop wherever you build them. You know what I mean?
Right.
You won't literally be able to share your resources, but you'll be able to have more exposure to shops and stuff. Because if you can't build the shops, then you'll want the merchants to come your way. So there's a great advantage to building that little thing. I had some trouble with these quests, Ray. I had. See, I'm not a huge Bunker Hill guy. I've never used it as a settlement that I know of. There's evidently some weird criteria how you have to get it. And I had just cleared out the what's called the National Guard. Yeah, the National Guard training yard. I had literally just cleared it out, and then for someone else, maybe County Crossing or something. And then went back to my settlement and dumped all my stuff. Came back and decided to start my quests. So I went and talked to Deb, or whatever her name was. And she said, hey, can you go clear out the National Guard training yard? And then the next conversation choice said, I've already done that. And so I clicked that. And then boom, up popped, you've completed traffic jam. Here's your XP. And here's your caps from Deb. I was like, that's weird. Okay, well, that's sweet. One less thing to do. I just cleared it out. And then she asked me to go clear it out, but I was already done. That's great. And so I went and I did prep school immediately afterward. Everything, I came back. Both of the quests done. Completed. Checked off my list. I had both XPs. Everything was finished. But I was not granted the caravan trading post thing. And I didn't know why. And I went and asked Steve, what am I doing wrong? And he's said, I don't know. There's a little bit of weird stuff going on with Bunker Hill and how the order you have to play stuff in. Well, he was right. Because, Ray, if you remember, I wanted to get some intelligence clothes. I had pretty low intelligence in my character, so I want to get some intelligence clothes together. I read that Liam's glasses give you a +2 intelligence and a +1 charisma. They're a pretty valuable set of glasses. So I wanted to go get Liam's glasses. So I looked up how to do that. Well, it turns out you have to do a bunch of crap for the Institute, and the Railroad doesn't like it when you cooperate with the Institute. So I was over at the Battle of Bunker Hill. You have to play the Institute main quest until you get to the point where you are the leader, where Father gives you the power to be the leader of the Institute. So I went over and I got that. And then you have to go, in order to do that, you have to go through the Battle of Bunker Hill. Well, I was just hoping to stand around and not get on anyone's bad side, because evidently there is a way to play the Battle of Bunker Hill where the Institute and the Railroad and the Brotherhood of Steel all show up and they're killing each other, but not shooting at you. But I was hoping that I had done that, but I had evidently done something that pissed off the Railroad. So the Brotherhood of Steel and the Institute, they weren't shooting at me, but the Railroad guys were attacking me. So I did have to take out a couple of Railroad agents. But I think Pat suggested that nothing bad will happen if I go back and I haven't killed the main 4 Railroad agents. So I don't know. Ray, do you know anything about that? Will I still have access to the Railroad, or if I killed a bunch of Railroad guys at the Battle of Bunker Hill?
I've never tried it. I'm
gonna go back.
I've either killed them or not. So
go back and see what Desdemona says now. See if she'll still let me in. But anyway, since I did the Battle of Bunker Hill before, it was kind of weird with how the quests were being assigned and everything. But I finished it, and it wasn't giving me the quest or the benefit. You know what I mean? The caravan trading post option and the resources segment of your building menu. And so I was like, oh, fuck it. So I left and went did a bunch of more stuff. And then I came back. And then not Deb, but the other lady, what's her name? Kessler. Kessler came up to me, was like, "Hey, there's a national training yard up the road a little ways. Would you mind going clearing that out for us?" I was like, "Wait a second." You guys, I just cleared that out, and she already gave me this quest is over. You guys gave me the XP. I'm done with this quest. And so she's like, "Oh no, but if you could, just run up there real quick and take care of those ghouls for us, that'd be awesome." So I went up and ripped through there as quickly as I could, and got rid of the ghouls, and then came back, and then I finally have it, the caravan post thing. So I don't know what you got to be weird, or you got to be delicate with how you deal with doing the Battle of Bunker Hill and opening it up. I found out that you automatically get the settlement because immediately, if you fail the Institute stuff, if you get kicked out of the Institute, which I did because I some messy things happened, Ray, over in the Institute. But I'm not with the Institute anymore. And then if you do that, you automatically get. I don't even know how to open it up. There's evidently some weird ways that you have to open up the workshop over at Bunker Hill. So be careful doing that. I actually managed to not get it locked out, so I'm happy about that. Whew. All right. Anything else you want to mention about Traffic Jam or Prep School, Ray?
So it turns out it is Doc Weathers.
Oh, it is.
That's the traveling doctor.
He was the guy at the beginning of New Vegas. Weatherly or something. I thought no, Doc Smithers. Smithers?
No, it's not Smithers.
I have no idea. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the last quest of the evening, and then we need to talk about the Carrie's Fun flash mob. We'll get into the nitty-gritty details of that here in just a minute. Yeah, so Ray, let's why don't you tell me a little bit about your last voyage experience?
So whenever I do this quest, I always side with the robots. It's just
Have to, right?
Yeah. So this time, okay, for the round table, I'm gonna try it siding with the scavengers.
You dirty scav.
And so it's you play it just like you're siding with the robots. You do all the quests. You fix the wiring. You replace the fuse. You go get the card, the navigation chip, and when you go there and you have that conversation with Marcy, there's the option to side with the scavenger. So I said, okay, I'll go with your guys' plan. So she says, bring us the tech that he's looking for, and we'll sabotage it so that his rockets explode. And so, you go through all the different things. And then finally, when you go get the pump bearing and take that back to her, they put a little sulfuric acid on the bearings so that they'll fail. And then you go install it in the ship and go up and talk to Ironsides. And he says, thanks for all your help. You've been great. And now all I need you to do is go power up the generator, and we're good to go. So you run off and fire up the generator, and they're going through their checklist, and when they go to fire up the rockets, they fail. Now they don't explode, so the ship is intact. But now you're fighting the robots, and all of the scavengers are running around to help, shooting robots and everything. And so
It doesn't. So it doesn't budge at all. It just stays in the same.
It just stays sitting in the same spot. And so I was able to snipe Ironsides from the spot where you go to fire up the generator,
Mhm.
and so took him out, and so that was the end, and yay, you did it. And so you go to get back up on the ship, and you run into to Marcy, and she goes, yeah, so we took a vote and we decided that we're not going to give you any of the loot. And so I'm like, okay, fine. So Zhang Jun whips out her Chinese officer sword and whacks off Marcy's head.
I'm assuming you took what was yours, of course.
Well, see, there's where it gets interesting. You don't get anything. You get straight up stiffed. You can take, you can loot the robots, so you get some different robot parts. The
Building components, the robot stuff.
Yeah, and but everything else is stealing.
Can you loot Ironside?
So I said, okay, well, at least I should be able to get some good stuff off Ironsides, and maybe I'll get the broadsider and the hat. And so go up there and go to loot him, and there's nothing, not even a piece of scrap metal. So you absolutely get your just deserves for siding with the scavengers if you take that route.
Huh. There must be.
You get the XP for completing the quest, but you don't get any. You don't get any guns. You don't get any, caps.
No caps. That's weird.
Yeah.
I thought that I read on the wiki that there is a way to get. If you side with the Ironsides, you get like his hat and 500 caps or something, but if you side with the Scavers, you don't get the hat, but you get 1,000 caps or something. Maybe I misread that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might have popped up so quick I missed it, but
so doing it the other way, is it basically you're doing all the same stuff that you would if you were actually cooperating with the robots, but you're pretending to cooperate with them?
Exactly. Yeah, everything else is exactly the same.
So did you do all the fetch questy stuff where you had to go get something and then bring it back and make it work?
Yep.
There's I mentioned going to get Liam's glasses. That was part of it. And Father's coat. I went and got Father's coat. I owe Sarah an apology because I claimed to her that Father's coat was the equivalent of like Reginald's suit or Agatha's dress, that it was the +3 item of clothing for intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got it, and it's not. It's just like any other lab coat. It's only a +2. Am I totally crazy? Was it at one point a +3? I'm insane. I don't think there's a +3 jacket article of clothing for intelligence.
For intelligence.
Yeah. But anyway, I had Liam's glasses +2 intelligence and a, how's it pronounced? Ushanka hat? Or
that's what I said.
Another point of, if you have a 9 of intelligence or higher, with all that clothing and everything, I got up to 9 intelligence. It really pays off this quest to have a 9 intelligence because you can just repair the thing. Part of going
right instead of having to use the use any of the wiring or anything like that.
Exactly. Often go get stuff and bring it back. You do for one of the items. You have to go, is this a Radiant quest, or is it always you end up at Fort Hagen getting that last item? I got sent to Fort Hagen. I think I've
No, I believe there's various places you can end up. I've had to go to The Corvega factory before.
Okay. Yeah, I got sent over to Fort Hagen, which I had just conveniently cleaned out not too long ago. So it was just run in and grab the thing out of the chest to run back out. Yeah, so I used intelligence the whole way, so I didn't have to run around and do stuff. What is that hat called? Oh, I got the captain's quarters key too, Ray.
Yeah.
You can't build or anything in there. There's probably a bed.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if anyone makes a home there. Jess, you like living on a boat? Make your captain's quarters there.
Yeah, you got to go a long ways to get there, though.
Yeah, that's true. I have to admit, Ray, that I have not actually completed the quest. I got up to the point where I got everything ready to go, and they were about to launch off, and I had to quit. Remind me, and if you cooperate with the robots, I've got the turbo pump bearings. All the scavs are dead. We've got the auxiliary power all activated and ready to go. Got the pumps installed. Yeah, I got everything ready to go.
Yeah, so all you need to do is throw the switch, and they'll take off.
And if I remember right, the big joke is they go like a quarter mile and crash into a different building, I think.
Yeah, a taller building.
Taller building. Up the street. And, okay. It's been a long time since I completed it, but if you run over and find them again, don't you say, "Oh my gosh, this was a disaster. You didn't go very far. What happened, Captain Ironsides?" And he's like, isn't he really impressed with himself about how far they went? And they're really happy with it.
Yeah, another 100 years and they'll be in the Atlantic.
Oh, that's so good. That's such a good quest. Boy, I don't know. Was that then? That earlier?
So I'll never have to side with the scavers anymore because it's definitely a waste of time.
Yeah, don't do that. Well, research to get all of the intelligence clothes. I was just making sure I had all because I knew you needed a +9 intelligence. I was making sure I had all the appropriate intelligence, the best stuff that I could have. And I got Liam's glasses, lab coat, and I found out that the press cap is actually a +1 intelligence. And the Ushanka hat, of course, we need that one. But I didn't know about the press cap.
Yeah,
that's a +1. Then I was like, okay, let's just click on intelligence here. Oh, okay. Here's the intelligence chems is just like charisma with the grape mentats. If you do berry mentats, it gives you a +5 intelligence.
Yeah.
And it says 480 seconds. Why do they do that? Why not just say 8 minutes? Why do you got to say 480 seconds? That's so stupid. Anyway, your berry mentats is 1 antifreeze bottle, 1 box of mentats, and 2 tarberry. And so that'll give you a +5 intelligence. That'll help you with that quest as well, if you don't want to mess around with all the wires and such.
Well, the wires and everything don't need the high intelligence.
Oh,
no, the first one's 3, the second one's a 5. It's that the part for the radar dish that requires the 9 intelligence to repair.
Each time there. So I was clicking on intelligence just to see what other ways besides clothes, and I was like, oh, berry mentats, that's nice. I'll make a couple. So I brought some berry mentats with me just in case. And then I noticed, wait a second, down here on the list here, the Vault 88 Overseer's desk. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So I clicked on that and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's like it's the pommel horse. Like it'll train your intelligence. I was like, oh crap, a few episodes ago, or a bunch of episodes ago, a couple months ago, we were talking about all the why isn't there one like one for each category? And then I noticed that right below where it said Vault 88 Overseer's Desk Trains Intelligence, it clicked on the settlement enhancement objects, and I was like, oh, sweet. And I was like, oh wow, there's actually one for each special category. We knew about the strength was the weight bench. We knew about perception was the photoraptor thing, the eye exam machine. Endurance we knew was the power cycle 1000. Now I didn't know the barber chair gives charisma. So you can have a charisma buff from the barber chair. You can build. Can you build? Where do you build? Yes, you can build a barber chair. I remember now.
Yep.
Intelligence is done by the overseer's desk. Now, after you build the initial special item overseer's desk in Vault 88 and complete the, what is that quest called where you test on Clem? I forget. Model citizen. If you complete the model citizen quest, then desk anywhere at any settlement. And it just looks like the Vault 88 Overseer's Desk. It's just called Overseer's Desk instead of Vault 88 Overseer's Desk. That's how you train your intelligence there. And then we knew about the pommel horse, of course. Then I had forgotten there's a slot machine, too, and that trains your luck. So it turns out there is an item for each and every special category, which I find just very cool. And from now on in my settlements, I'll probably end up trying to build like just the all in a row spelling special. You know what I mean? I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that's cool that all that stuff is there.
Yeah, I didn't know. And I'm surprised none of our listeners wrote in and yelled at me for fucking that up. Cool. Right. Do you have anything else that you'd like to mention about the last voyage of the USS Constitution?
Well, just make sure that you go back up to the top of the skyscraper and talk to Ironsides again, so you get the cool hat.
Mm-hmm. The hat looks really cool. I think it just gives you a +1 of what, perception or charisma or something, right?
Yeah, it's not particularly great for perks, but it is darn snappy looking.
That is one of my favorite hats, and also the tri-corner Minutemen Generals hat. I also like that one a lot.
Yeah,
those are two of my favorite hats in it.
Good hats.
Good hats. Right on. Okay, guys. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Carrie's fund. We've heard feedback from Carrie, and Carrie was on a few episodes ago. We all know her, and she has a condition, and she needs to get an operation. She needs to raise a little bit of money, so we're getting down to the wire. We need desperation times here. Throwing everything we can, all ideas at the wall. So we're going to flash mob Bethesda on Twitter in a very friendly way, not flash mob in a dangerous or angry way, guys. Be careful out there. Be nice. We're planning on building, like we mentioned in a previous episode, in your settlement, build lots of any sciencey stuff that you can find. I know, Ray, you've already uploaded a couple of pictures.
Yep.
You have some sciencey stuff going on. So build your research facility on the wall in neon, right? Settler safe carry. And the show notes of this episode, everybody, look at your podcatcher. I will post the text for the tweet that you will need to send out. Send out this exact text on the tweet. Do it on Tuesday. What is that? Is that the 14th coming up here, Ray? I need to double check that. I believe that it is the 14th.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. Tuesday the 14th here, the Eastern time zone in the United States. We will all tweet at Bethesda and the at Bethesda Studios. Those are the two we're going to tweet at. Be sure to include the at Carrie's Fund Twitter account and the hashtag Settler Safe Carry. Put Settler Safe Carry in your photo as well, in neon somewhere. Got those fancy neon lights. Might as well use those. Well, guys, that's noon. We're going to do that right at lunchtime. Hopefully, it'll hit Bethesda all at once. We're going to get a bunch of people from our show. Carrie has another Fallout group she's a member of. They're helping out as well. There is a mod. If you don't have time to run out and collect a bunch of lab coats and stuff, like go to the Institute or go to different doctors and collect all the lab coats. There's a mod that exists if you go to the Bethesda mod section there on their website. Search for Carrie Beckwith-Fellows and Flash Mob. Carrie Beckwith-Fellows Flash Mob. And that will produce, I think, 30 scientists in lab coats. Just boom, right there in your settlement, running around. So that's a good way to do it, too.
So
I've seen some.
It puts them in Sanctuary.
Is it only Sanctuary? I thought
Yeah.
that you could determine.
Well, and
Where
then
you
you
can
can
set-
then you can send them wherever you want to from there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Just
You
like
can
you
assign
would
them to different.
any other assigned settlers.
Use that mod if you need lab coats. You don't want to go out searching for them. The actual tweet that we're going to send out. But remember, we need to do this all at the same time on Tuesday at noon Eastern, which is 5 p.m. in London. And that's 9 a.m. in Pacific, in the United States. You guys in Australia, you can figure it out. The tweet will read, and again, you can find this in the show notes of this episode. If you scroll down, just copy it directly out of there and use this on your tweet at on Tuesday at Bethesda and at Bethesda Studios. Fallout 4 and Skyrim fan Carrie needs your help. She needs £1,000 by September 1st for life-saving surgery. My settlers are working on a cure, but we're running out of time. Donate your caps and gold at gofundme.com/CarriesFund100K. Hashtag Settlers Save Carrie at Carrie's Fund. So again, find that tweet down there in the show notes of the podcast, and the Fallout feed will tweet it on Tuesday at noon. And it'd be a big help if everyone could tweet it at the same time. Just copy the text and tweet it yourself, or retweet the tweet that the Fallout feed will send out. Do it on, I don't know, can you contact? I don't do, I almost called it pictogram. What's this? Instagram. I don't do Instagram. I don't do a lot of this social media stuff. So I don't know if Bethesda has a presence in the Instagram and Snapchat a thing. I don't know. Kids out there, do you do that stuff? I don't. Ray, you barely tweet, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not an Instagram man, I doubt.
Yeah, no.
That's hilarious. So please help us out with that. We're also going to help ask the folks over at That Fallout Show to help us the best they can as well. So hopefully we get a little bit of attention on Bethesda, and maybe they can help Carrie get through this. So thanks everyone out there beforehand for helping out. Hopefully we can get a foot in the door for her sake. Ray, gosh, we kind of got through stuff quickly this evening.
Well, we didn't have Sarah going on and on and on the way she does.
On and on and on. She does. Never shut up, right? Wait, did Sarah just pop in?
No.
So I can just sit in my bed and get.
Wait, what was that, Sarah? She doesn't want to be on the show because what?
So I can just sit in my bed and game.
Oh, she didn't want to be on the show, so she could just sit in her bed and game. I get it. That does sound pretty sweet. I get it. All right, Sarah, bye.
Who wouldn't want to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll auction that off as part of the fundraiser. We can have someone go sit in Sarah's gaming bed and They can play Fallout 4 together on her cool. She's not going to do it on her projector, is she? God, that'd be sweet. I think she is. You can do 76 on a projector. She said that we're going to do. That she's going to do. Because we briefly were thinking, last week she brought up that maybe she was going to do PS4. But I think she said that she needs to keep Ray under control.
Clearly, somebody has to.
Yeah. And I mentioned, Ray's policy of ask questions later is probably not the best for like a team style game. Kill all of us and get his nuclear codes and just end up all of us out too.
I can tell the difference between friend and foe. So I don't kill my followers.
Be like, get out of my way. He'll be like, get out of my way. You're always in my way. Move, Andrew.
I won't kill you. I can't guarantee I won't shoot you, but I won't kill you.
Yeah. Get me in the back of the leg, clip me in the leg a few times. Anyway, so
there should be some news coming up from QuakeCon. So they're supposed to be doing that at I think noon on Saturday. Will be their discussion on 76. So hopefully we'll have some new news coming up on that.
Is Quake a Bethesda game?
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Quake video game convention that started revolving around the game Quake, I guess. I don't know much about QuakeCon. Is this like a Bethesda, their own sort of...
Yeah, it's like BlizzCon or any of those others that are done by big game studios.
Okay. Well, fun today. And we'll find out more about 76, I guess. Cool.
Yeah, they said they're on their site. You can ask questions that throw out questions that you want to see answered in the keynote. But of course, they don't guarantee that every question will get answered. But they're just kind of looking for what are people looking for as far as more information goes.
We need to say, hey guys, AS here. We need a random character generator. Could you please give us all the categories of different things of everything that we'll need to know? Thanks. Think that'll happen?
Of course.
They'll be like, here, okay, this is exactly what you need. This is going to be your character creation stuff. No, that's actually all we need. We'll probably get through that during beta testing, right? We'll have to go through the character creation thing. We'll just have to find all the different categories. That's all.
Yeah, we'll have it figured out as soon as we get into the beta.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. So the Xbox players will get brought in first, and then they'll just randomly start sending out invitations to the people that are in the beta program, which are people that pre-ordered. And so they'll bring them in a little by little, but everybody will eventually be in the beta before the game launches. But there's not one. There won't be one date that everybody gets in. So
even on Xbox, a pre-order gets it.
Yeah, so the people that on the Xbox get it first.
But on the same day, or is that going to be trickled out too?
No, it'll be trickled out too.
Lame. They didn't give us a day either. Did they just said in mid-October or something, right? Probably a month out.
Yeah, I think they
November.
just said sometime in October. So hopefully we'll see something more. We're getting closer. They should be giving, be able to give more and more details. And this is a big announcement at their convention, so there should be some good stuff in it.
You have to travel this weekend?
No, I don't leave until Monday.
Will you be able to like watch a live stream of it somewhere? I'm assuming.
Yeah,
You go to
on
Bethesda?
the Bethesda site. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, you can submit questions on their site. Cool. I have to check this out. QuakeCon, everybody, this weekend. Look at it. Ray, have anything else you'd like to get into tonight?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, so let's get another great batch of feedback from everybody. It was an excellent batch last time.
Oh yeah, that was a great show. I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah, weird. I just realized we didn't even mention that you were gone, which is like
Ray who?
And then I was like thinking in the back of my head, do we mention it? But then I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's his own business. We don't need to be airing his dirty work laundry. Then we went the whole. I was like, okay, it's a thing now. We didn't mention it the whole. Okay, we're not even going to say anything about Ray not being here right now, I guess. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you
Always
so
a
much.
pleasure.
Indeed.
You remember what we're getting into? Coming up.
Well, I don't typically remember stuff that's written down, but I can't access the
I
Fallout
don't do
feed page, and so I can't remember what they are.
here. We just did Rocket Shed. Okay, so we're going to do some feedback for the Rocket Shed, Traffic Jam, and Prep School, and the last voyage of the USS Constitution. Next week. Week after, the Federal Ration Stockpile. How's that church there? Nice. That's a good location. That'll be our location. Professor Goodfeels is a side quest. Also, Here There Be Monsters. That's a really good side quest. Excited if anyone hasn't done that one yet. Very cool. And Trouble Brewing. Nice. That's a good one too. We got a fun little batch of quests coming up on August 23rd. But next week we'll be getting into feedback. Looking forward to hearing from everyone out there. It's been seriously great. All your feedback, everybody.
Yeah, keep it up, especially the people that did it for the first time. I mean, they were all awesome.
Yeah, Jen, first timer sent us something last time. Lots of first time people putting their stuff out there on a limb. And it's all perfect. It's really good sounding stuff. So thanks everyone for your participation in this roundtable project. Really couldn't do this stuff without you. Really important to this project. So thanks for doing that. Ray, if you don't have anything else, I'd like to encourage everyone. Remember Tuesday at noon. I've already set a reminder in my phone, an event reminder, 10 minutes before. I'm gonna sit down and copy the tweet out and get it going, and I'll tweet it out a little bit, a couple minutes before noon. And everyone, set your event reminder, look for the tweet, and then retweet it. Help us out with Carrie's Fund.
Yep.
The Flash Mob.
I'll have to excuse myself from my meeting briefly to be able to get that thing sent out.
Yeah, it'll be. Pardon me. I have to go tweet. So professional, Ray.
I know.
Right on. Well, Ray, great to have you back on the show. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, the Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.